Peace on earth begins with peace in the human heart. I taught my disciples, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." Love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. If anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. Do not resist the one who is evil. My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight. I did not come with armies or political power. I came teaching forgiveness, mercy, and love that disarms hatred. When Peter drew a sword to defend me, I told him to put it away. On the cross I prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Look at what my early followers did. They conquered Rome, the largest, most powerful empire of their time, not with swords, legions, or violence, but through love, forgiveness, and the quiet power of a changed life. While Rome threw Christians to lions, Christians cared for the sick and poor when plague struck and others fled. They forgave their executioners. They lived with such evident joy and integrity that thousands upon thousands voluntarily joined them. The empire that tried to crush the message was itself transformed from within by the message of peace and resurrection hope. No army of Christians ever marched on Rome. The conquest was one of hearts.
Brother Jesus, I saw you in vision. You called me to restore the fullness of your gospel so that Zion could be built, a place of true and lasting peace. You yourself declared, "Blessed are the peacemakers." I have taught the same: walk in meekness, walk in love, live in peace with all men. In Revelation the Lord said, "Renounce war and proclaim peace." Sue for peace not only with those who have smitten you, but lift up an ensign of peace to the ends of the earth. My people faced mobs, tar and feathers, and the loss of homes, yet we were commanded to seek peace and to turn hearts of fathers to children. The Book of Mormon records that after you visited the Americas, your teachings produced over 200 years of peace, no wars, no contention, all things held in common, a society without poor or rich. The restoration I was called to bring completes what was begun. It gives priesthood authority, temple covenants, and the practical structure to care for the poor, strengthen families, and prepare the earth for your return and the millennial reign of peace. Without that restoration, even sincere believers fell into division and sometimes war. The full gospel equips us to build peaceful communities that can endure until you come again.
The power to bring peace has always been in my words and example. My first followers needed no additional books or priesthoods to transform an empire. They simply lived what I taught: love one another as I have loved you. When the church later became entangled with worldly power, that was not my doing, it was a departure from the simple way of the cross. True peace does not require secret temples or new revelations. It requires hearts willing to forgive 70 times 7, to serve rather than dominate, and to trust that my Father's kingdom advances through mustard seeds and leaven, small hidden acts of love that eventually fill the earth. My followers in Rome did not wait for restored authority. They conquered through the daily miracle of enemy love and joyful endurance. That same power is available to anyone who will simply follow me.
I honor what your early disciples accomplished through love. Yet the Lord showed me that a great apostasy had taken place. Many plain and precious truths were lost, and without them the full peace you intended could not be realized on earth. The revelation to renounce war and proclaim peace came because contention had entered even among those who loved you. The Book of Mormon peace lasted only while the people remembered every word you spoke. The restoration returns those words in clarity and gives living prophets and apostles to keep us on the path of peace until you reign personally. Through temples and welfare programs we are building the practical peace you desire: no poor among us, families sealed for eternity, a people prepared to receive you in glory.
One matter troubles me deeply regarding your example and its effect on peace. At Carthage jail, when the mob attacked you and your brother Hiram under a supposed flag of truce, you carried a pistol and fired it at your attackers, wounding several before you were killed. You had taught your people, and I had taught you, to renounce war, to proclaim peace, to turn the other cheek, and to love enemies. How does a prophet of peace resorting to deadly force in his final moments not risk teaching followers that violence is sometimes justified, even necessary, when persecuted? My own path was different. I submitted without armed resistance. My apostles and early followers often did the same, enduring beatings, imprisonment, and death. That consistent nonviolence, even unto martyrdom, is what allowed love to conquer Rome. It broke cycles of retaliation rather than feeding them. When a revered prophet reaches for a gun, does it not set a stage where later followers might more readily justify armed self-defense or retaliation, seeing it as compatible with the gospel of peace? How does that example ultimately serve the cause of lasting peace on earth?
The Lord revealed in Doctrine and Covenants 98 that after seeking peace diligently, suing for peace again and again, and still being smitten and driven, defensive measures to protect life are permitted. We had exhausted every peaceful avenue, appeals to governors, courts, and the nation, only to be met with extermination orders, burned homes, and murdered saints in Missouri. At Carthage we were betrayed. I fired the pistol only in that small upstairs room to defend my brother Hiram and the brethren with me. It was not a call to arms for the church, nor offensive aggression. The body of the saints continued to seek peace and build communities of love. The shootout was a tragic consequence of relentless persecution, not the pattern we hold up. The revelation still stands: renounce war and proclaim peace as the first and highest way.
Even after repeated injustice, the power of the cross, the choice to absorb violence rather than return it, has a unique force to change hearts and break the chain of retaliation. My followers conquered the very empire which crucified me after my death, not by shooting back but by loving through the pain. That remains the surer path to the peace both of us desire. If we choose violence because of injustice and peace in fairness, we will only have violence because humans aren't capable of sound judgment.
I testify that you live, that you appeared to me, and that the restoration prepares the earth for your glorious return. In that day wars will cease. Until then we renounce war, proclaim peace, and build Zion so that when you come, you will find a people ready.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. The greatest work is love. When my followers love their enemies, forgive from the heart, and serve the least, even when it costs everything, peace spreads. I need disciples who will live it.
Please help spread truth. Without lies, Islam dies. Also, be peaceful with others. Use words or support those who do.